Well, hey guys and gals, Malak 7643. So, I had a viewer ask me how you can use rebels up against Houndstooth in the Malevolence fleet. So, I thought I'd just run this particular video. Um, Effectively, the Houndstooth is going to taunt, so you can't just target the Vulture droid with Defiant Volley from your capital ship. It doesn't work. But the principle is still the same. You're still going to pull Plo Koon first to get rid of those buzz droids because, that's hazardous right now. This situation is really bad. But you can use the AoE from Millennium Falcon to take out that buzz droid. And so, yeah, you can just call Plo Koon. He's going to rescue your fleet here, big time. Get rid of those buzz droids so the Wombo combos cease. Of course, later, if they pull a Separatist as a reinforcement, if they target, let's say, Biggs right now, he's still going to be in big trouble. But the whole point of this is to make sure that you are prepared for when they call Millennium Falcon, just in case. And see, there's Sunfac there. It came out. Just unfortunately, people that have buzz droids are very vulnerable. But now you can get that hyena bomber down, and then it's just a matter of taking out Sunfac, and this fleet is toast. And you just kind of have to make a judgment call when you pull your Cassian. Either you do or you don't, and you just have to be careful because you don't want to pull your Cassian too early or whatever if Millennium Falcon isn't on the field, because it can be a pain in the butt to take care of otherwise. But definitely not super difficult to take care of the Houndstooth there. And then I'd also like to, I had a bit of a mod problem there, and when I fought against this team, everything worked out just fine. So I thought that we could talk about this Rey and Anakin and Revan and Wat and General Kenobi team. Oh, excuse me. Because it's showing up a lot in arenas. And so I did a little bit of theory crafting and just figured that this Wat team would still be okay here. And it's kind of neat because you can go ahead and still clear off the taunt by passing tech to Bsf, and then she can fear GK, and then he'll have fear and he might have taunt, but all the buffs get dispelled when that fear disappears. So all you need to do is make sure that he has shock on him when that happens, and the taunt will come back. So if you can go Bsf into DR, you can make sure that you can still fracture Rey. And then it plays the same as, the General Anakin Skywalker and Chewbacca variation, where you just simply keep insanity on everybody else while you work Rey down to use her ultimate or whatever. In this case, this particular Rey doesn't have it, but it just wastes another turn. The ultimate doesn't really matter in this particular fight, other than timeouts. You have to be so careful about timeout against this squad. It's very, very difficult, truly. You just run out of time, especially with this makeup, where you end up with a situation where most of the time it's very difficult to kill Jedi Knight Revan before GK ends up getting killed again. So he's going to trip Savior, which is a bummer, because if you could somehow get to Jedi Knight Revan in this team, he can't Savior himself unless he's in the leader slot, so he'd just die if you could get it done, and it would save you a bunch of time. But either way, Rey comes off the board first, so that's what you saw there. You just use insanity and fear to control the rest of them while you work her down. You have to waste that terrible turn where you have Deathmark and she has invulnerability, and it just takes forever. And so then you just start working GK, get him down to his invulnerability, and then try to take out Wat Tambor. And just get rid of him. And then General Anakin Skywalker and Revan just work them both down to get their invulnerabilities up as well. And it sucks. You're still going to end up in that situation where GK is going to move, he'll taunt, and you can see here that I was unable to avoid killing him, and so he tripped Savior there. So it just is built to frustrate you. This whole comp, the whole point of it is not to kill you, because they're not going to kill DR, but it's to make you mad in timeout. Really, it does such a fantastic job of it. CG should be so embarrassed that this kid exists. I mean, it's just so bad. Just lazy development, for lack of better terms. It's just so very defensive. There wasn't a single person that I know of that enjoyed the Jedi Knight Revan meta and these long, protracted battles that just take forever. I mean, it's a huge waste of time on your climb. I mean, if your whole arena is filled with Rays, Ray on Ray is one of the worst fights in the game. I mean, it's winnable without question, but you're wasting, 3.5 at least with your own Galactic Legend against Ray, if not 4.5 like these matches. I mean, this is ridiculous. Just working it down, and you're just waiting for the team member to actually get enough speed. It's almost like they could make an unbeatable team just by having really slow characters that just, they don't get a chance to take their turns. And so it just, I mean, you can see up there the game clock is, I'll move this for you, 38 seconds left before I finally got through it. It's just so irritating. I absolutely detest this Ray meta. It's a pox. Just a terrible, terrible pox. It's cancer in the game. The devs should be incredibly embarrassed that they released Rey in the state that she's in. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren shouldn't be doing what he's doing to the Sith raid and other things. I mean, but at least he's a more balanced, more interesting kit, where, the mastery aspect of it is actually quite clever. This Rey thing of just, oh no, you can't kill me or anybody that's with me for a little bit if they're light side, that's just absolutely ridiculous. So let's see here, what else did I have here? Oh, I also just went up against another Negotiator fleet here, so just to showcase the move order against somebody with 5s again. But the long and the short of it is, this is a nice match to showcase, because you can see that he got put into stealth and he lost his unending loyalty, and here Negotiator still will mobilize because he had too much health left. So it's a situation where everything went right and the AI just did the unthinkable and used mobilize instead of unending loyalty, even though you had already knocked Anakin out of his first unending loyalty. It almost never happens that way, but I thought I'd show how you can recover from it if you need to after your Bistan is destroyed so swiftly. It's a tough fight, but you just need to continue the process and realize that if that does happen, you can see Anakin is vulnerable, and you just got to take him out as quickly as possible, and then just work down the tanks. And it's frustrating because there's a lot of them that show up here. You got Y-Wing, you got Houndstooth, and you've got Umbran, which is a beefcake ship in its own right. It's a lot of beef. You got to worry about timeout. So just be diligent. Make sure to move quickly and decisively. Always use your offensive moves with your capital ship if you can. Even though it looks like it's not doing anything, it actually is doing a great deal, chipping away at Houndstooth health, because that will stop the protection up. And if you get an offensive ship like this out there, like Ahsoka, you immediately take it out if you can. Just like this. The assist move from Cassian is brilliant for that. And essentially you can just hang on, right? Because that's what you're trying to do. This ultimate will occur from the enemy, and it's going to blow up all kinds of ships. And there's really not much you can do except just survive it. Bring out Plo Koon to heal up what little you have left. And as you can see, Plo Koon is going to get his clock cleaned by the mobilized setup. Now, this is ridiculous, the amount of damage that can come out of a mobilized turn with 2 tanks. I mean, Plo Koon is a fresh ship, and he's almost dead. It's unbelievable to me. There's no damage dealer on the field, but Fives ramps up throughout the course of the fight, and I don't know, he's just nothing to trifle with. So, but you will see eventually that this match will end up with Rebels winning, and you just have to continue to choose the correct move order. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm so tired tonight, but essentially just continue the process of exchanging those ships down. Because as long as your Millennium Falcon stays on the field and their Anakin is gone, you're going to win the fight as long as you stay diligent. There's the ultimate, but it's too little too late. You know, it'll hurt, but it's not going to blow up your ships. So, Plo Koon, I mean, it's just the ultimate delay team, right? And Y-Wing and Houndstooth and Rex and Plo Koon, just all kinds of delay tactics. Fives on the board to begin with as well. The only offensive ship other than Anakin is Ahsoka. It's just funny, but you can take care of business. It doesn't matter. So I believe the last fight that I had in this video was up against a Geonosian Brood Alpha with Darth Revan. A lot of people, I think, struggle with that team, with their Rebels. And so it might be kind of nice to showcase this too. So we'll just bring this in and show you how this works. But you play it like a standard Revan team, target HK, use a basic there, and then buff block here. But I always switch modes just to make sure I get the extra goodies, because you really don't want your buff block being resisted there. If it is, it can be a pain. Use Oh My Goodness on Bastila, and then Han will be able to finish her off, which will stop Corrupted Battle Meditation, that nastiness. You can fracture Malak. And then normally I would try to kill off HK, but as you can see, I failed. Fortunately, the counter worked out okay, but I took a lot of extra damage. So when that happens, CLS usually dies. And you'll see it here later. Eventually, he will succumb, which is unfortunate because somebody gets to half and then Deathmark happens. And of course, we know that's all bad. So, right there. And so, even though we're able to reduce it down to just Malak, CLS is toast. So it makes it more difficult because you don't get the stun opportunity on basic anymore. Of course, the idea with Malak here is just all control. Stun him. Now that DR is gone, he can be stunned. So, and you'll see that I trade turn meter with Han here so that I get the closest opportunity to fracture again. And you'll actually see that I will fracture one more time after this. By manipulating the turn meter, I always pass to the highest turn meter person with Thrawn when he gets his turn. And then my Thrawn is set up, he's only Relic 3, which is actually a nice magic number, and I have all protection mods on him that I can have. And it really helps because Malak can't drain him out so easily. He's got a lot of protection and not very much base health, so Malak's 100% health drain doesn't hurt as badly. He's able to stick around. So anyway, I hope that you folks get a little bit of goods out of tonight's footage. I really appreciate you guys and gals. That Wat Tambor team is really tricky. It's really tricky, and so I hope that you guys will enjoy. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate you, and until the next video, Denny out.